Wowee, it's up. Have a look at the beauty. What a beautiful sail. It's just hardly any wind, but that's how I like it. And it's, I don't know whether I've jagged it or it's a few things are wrong, but it seems to be controlled all right.
Hello viewers, my name is Jens Peck and this is my YouTube channel Full Spinnaker Ahead. It's all about living aboard and sailing, adventures with Toucan 2, my 46 foot aluminium sailing catamaran.
I can't believe it, eh? That's amazing. After all of these time of thinking about it, it's finally happened.
I've owned Toucan 2 for 2 years and 8 months and lived on board all that time. Diagnosed with cancer about the same time as purchasing my dream boat. Juggling the medical requirements of my cancer, we've managed to sail down and up the east coast of Australia, over to Tasmania and back, and around the Gippsland Lakes of Victoria, Australia, my home port. No stranger to doing things solo and DIY with renewed standing rigging, well repaired cracks in the hull, realign the engines, sail repairs, replace the mainsails, water tanks, rescun, the list will go on. I've learned a lot and I still have a lot to learn. One thing that hasn't changed is the desire to sail Toucan 2 as far around this planet as I can, bringing you, the viewers, that story. I'm making this title page up in Arlie Beach after a 5-week bout of the shingles. Shingles is a viral infection and I had it for 5 weeks. I was seriously sick for 5 weeks and it was an eye opener, and I realised how vulnerable I could be being immune compromised. So I'm making a change in plans and making a base down south where I could work and place where I could seek the medical help more easily if I should fall ill again. A slight delay in my plans, but one that I think will work.
Yeah, g'day. I've spent a lot of time in this bed over the last 5 weeks.
The catch cry of my YouTube channel, Full Spinnaker Ahead to Your Dreams, because you never know what's around the corner, now has a lot more meaning after having shingles. It's the rewards of boating life that make it all worthwhile. Over the blue seas of the east coast, Toucan glides, taking us to places that we dream of in lullabies. Full Spinnaker ahead to your dreams. Welcome to episode 28 of Full Spinnaker Ahead. Yamba Aluka to Arlie Beach, and we happened to meet Stuart, the extreme adventurer in his Warham 21, and Jacob and Yana from Finistera. The man himself.
I've had 3 lots of water police take photos of it.
This is Stuart, the man that's got to put his beard to the side when he eats.
Fucking do, man.
He's having
you can't get the food out of it, like trying to
just sum your
wipe it out, you just wipe it in further.
Sum your trip up in a couple of words, if you don't mind.
Am I on video?
Yeah, sum your trip up in a couple of words.
Adventure, like
Yeah.
no plans.
Yeah, cool.
Just do it.
We've heard some awesome stories.
Am I going on YouTube?
Oh, we don't have to. I'll not put.
Whatever, then I don't care.
If you don't want to, don't worry. I'll just won't do it.
Go for it.
This is Stuart's Warham 21. The rudder, no, it's not called a rudder.
Steering oar. Oh shit, that is.
That is not called a rudder, it's called a steering arm, and requires a fair bit of manhandling, especially when you're coming down big waves.
Straight up the guts of the bar.
Yeah, straight up the guts of the bar, sideways through Yamba Bar. It's a beast. In short, it's a beast. What are those little dome things?
All 5 horsepower. What?
The little dome things there.
Little dome things.
See these?
So the rudder, see the hole in the steering paddle?
Yeah.
So it ties through that hole. There's a hole in that, so you can put it on either side, but it's only got one. So I tie that hole pretty much as tight as I can through there.
Yeah. What's it, a rope or something?
Yeah, with that yellow stuff,
Oh yeah.
just to stop a knot. And it ties through, which keeps it like down.
Yeah.
And then
right.
I've got that on like a bank robber hitch, so
Yep.
I can just pull it and it pops up.
Yep. Yeah,
And then I
right.
wrap it around. You can see fucking where I've taken all the shit
Yeah,
off
yeah.
that. And then wrap it around there. So
Cool.
you're only really steering rather than trying to hold it down in the water.
It's a wicked bit of gear, mate.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, good afternoon. It's in Toucan 2 Saloon. We're in Iluka, or Iluka Yamba Causeway. We're on the Iluka side. And we've met a bloke that we saw in Coffs Harbour that was sailing a 21-foot Warham, so it's an open catamaran style boat that's lashed together with rope. And we saw him out of Coffs Harbour cruising up the coast slowly with a crab claw sail, and never thought I'd see him again. And then in Yamba, which is another 100 mile away, he pulls into the place where we're parked, and we had dinner last night, and he needs a few sail repairs done, and he's got a sail made out of a polytarp. So I donated my stronger polytarp. I'm just going to sew some hems on it. We made a new crab claw sail for him. And another fella, Marty, on a boat called Kiss, he's helping him with bolting his, because he doesn't have a rudder, he has like an oar that steers the boat. It's classic Warham style, and he come in last night in the Yamba Bar in the Arvo sideways. Amazing story, and I want to keep in contact with him. His name's Stuart. Started in South Rocks, or Southwest Rocks, I think it's called. Anyway, we're just doing a hem. I was having trouble because we used quick grip to glue this hem down, and it was causing me bilio with the first round of stitching, clogging the needle up and missing stitches. So I went back there, and Marty suggested put some oil on the needle so that the quick grip doesn't stick to it, and I've just done it and it seems like it's working, so fingers crossed it keeps going. So I've done a good 400 mil now, and there's been no incident of clogging up needles, so maybe the oil's working. Yeah, I'd have to say that's a success, but I'm just going to take a bit of a shot closer to the work so you can see how this wonderful machine works. around the Schnupper. It's about 6:30 coming out of Yamba Bar. Looks really calm. You can see it there in the distance coming out to go to the Gold Coast Seaway. Possibly get there tonight. The tide is coming in. 3 hours coming in so far. So, and the bar's beautiful. A big difference in that scenario if it's going out. So we're expecting 15 to 20 knots for starters and up to 25 knots of wind. On Willie it just looks like a couple of brown patches, so it'll be mostly 20, I reckon, something like that. If we get 7 or 8 knots, we'll get there tonight at the Gold Coast Seaway about 10 o'clock, and because it's such a big bar, I'm fairly confident should be no problems getting in there. But even so, I'll just have to see how much the swell builds. I'll judge that as I'm cruising along. Got to get a lot better at just waiting at for the right tides to come in, because I've seen a few bars now and they're scary. We're right at the entrance now. There's a bit of swell. There's a fishing boat coming in as well. Right over there behind the sandbar's in between me and that fishing boat. It's a horseshoe shaped sort of sandbar. Yeah, there's a bit of size in the swell coming through, but it's just rolly, which is easy to handle. Seems to be a lot of fishermen coming in. What's that mean? I'm sort of taking the shipping lane in. Apparently in Yamba you get 5,000 ton boats coming in. So we're going to say goodbye to Yamba and hello to the Gold Coast Seaway, which I might even have to bypass. It's 9 o'clock on my passage from Yamba to the Gold Coast. The wind's just picked up from the southwest to southeast. We're all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but we're doing about 8.5 knots, 9 knots. So I think it's building pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably pull my mainsail down, because it's going to get up to 25 knots, which will be too much for that full mainsail. So I'm just going to pull the main down because I'm solo, and I'll just see how I go with the head sail. A lot easier to manage. I could reef the main, but it's a fair bit of work all the time. The sea state's changed a little bit. I'm not running direct on course because I have to run like about 45 degrees to the tailwind with the sails the way they are, like main end. Otherwise the head sail gets shrouded by the main, and it is already a little bit at some time. So yeah, I'll maybe let it go for a little bit longer, but the stronger the wind is, the more I've got to turn into wind to take the main down. I probably should do it a bit earlier than too late.
head sail now only. It's a better situation for downwind sailing. You don't have to go off course as much, and it's just a lot easier to handle. And as you can see, the wind's piped up a bit and that the head sail's been wound in a fair way. But moving along beautifully.
We're cruising along nicely, probably I'd say around about 5.5 to 8 knots. Big swell, some big sets come through and they break at the top. I think they're short and sharp because I think the current is still present, the east coast current, and we've got a wind against that current. It's only meant to be about 0.8 of a knot, but it's there, so, and the wind's coming the other way, so it seems to be holding it up. I think what will verify that is the windy says that the current depletes after Byron Bay, so it'll be interesting to see what the seas look like then. Another boat behind me is doing 16 knots. Oh, wow, man, that's unbelievable. I was slowing myself down because coming down waves 10, 11 knots, I was just not liking it. Now I'm just on the head sail and it's sort of just puffing forward of the stay, and I like it, just feel a lot nicer. I don't think I'll be going into the Gold Coast Seaway looking at the swell we've got here. And you know, I'm looking at the weather. We've got 5 days of this type of weather, or 4 days, and I'm thinking I'm just going to use the wind to go north, so it'll just be a matter of maybe poking my nose in the top of Moreton Island and having a sleep behind Moreton Island, and then behind maybe Harvey Bay, not Harvey Bay, Fraser Island, although that's a big long way in because the spit comes out there miles. And then Bundaberg would probably be my place because it is going to blow later on, and it might be a place where I can get into, but we would have had winds like 20 to 25 for 3 or 4 days. I don't know what that'll be like, but we'll assess that a bit later. Righto, well, I suppose the other thing is that we are getting up to where the coral barrier reef starts to come out, so that's got to help too. Maybe not so far south, but a little, once we get up there a bit, we should have better seas, I think. Anyway, we'll talk later. Another change, just passing Ballina. We've just entered into murky water, like the flood water's coming out of, I suppose, the river that comes into Ballina. We'll call it the Ballina River. It sort of seems to have calmed off the sea state. I don't know why, but and we seem to be going faster, so we might be in the current of the outflow. I'll just show you on the outside. We've been hit by a bit of rain, so I'll put all the sides down. I'll just leave this one up so I can get my body up in under there. So it just seems a whole lot more hectic in the blue than it does in the brown. I don't know why, but it just does. So I'm just keeping an eye out for logs and stuff. So yeah, there's a fair bit going on. It's all pretty good though. It's sort of a little bit different conditions, but it's not. It's pretty comfortable. So I'll just keep going. Well, there's no option now. I can't just get out. I'm not going to go into Ballina over there. Anyway. Yeah, g'day. We're just ghosting along at the moment. We just got hit by a storm. We just got hit by a storm. It wasn't too bad, but we had to reduce the sail. To just a handkerchief while the storm and the rain went past, and now it's sort of calmed down again, but I'm not going to put out too much sail because I think it's still around. There's a black cloud out here over to my left, and out over there, I don't know if you can see it, is over that way there is the Gold Coast. So I'm just sort of letting it ghost along for a bit and see if there's another storm coming. But it's sort of a hard one because you don't want to. You want to get to where you're going too, don't you? The thing that makes it hard for me to pull the head sail in is I've got this Cunningham set up, and you can see the sail. It wants to collapse every now and again. That's why I put the Cunningham on it, and I think it's called a Cunningham anyway. But I'll just show you. It's just like a rope. Just stops the sail collapsing and then refilling and just like really jolting the rigging and also the sail. So, but when I want to wind it in, I have to let it go partially, which is a bit of a staggering. It's not just a fluid movement. It's like I've got to do a little bit and then wind the furler and then go and do it again, and sort of a bit like that. And when you've got a heavy wind coming, you want to get it done as quickly as you can. Anyway, it's all good. Night has fallen again. This is the second night in a row I haven't got off the boat. Went straight past Cape Morton this morning. It was extremely rough around there. The high tide was running out and it runs down Cape Morton like that, I'm presuming. So I just kept going. 160 miles to the top of Harvey Bay, and yeah, just having some dinner. The boat's on autopilot, doing about, just slowed it right down. We're doing up to 11, 12 knots during the day. Went across this place called Barwon Banks. It goes from 113 metres to like 22 in some places, and yeah, it really picked the sea up. So sort of detoured around that, and now we're going along the ride, getting the occasional bang from the bridge deck slam. I just don't know how that doesn't create problems in your structure. Maybe it will, but anyway, it hits pretty hard. So yeah, it's cruising along. Going to go through the whole night again. First time I've done 2 in a row. With the new half-hour sleep, half-hour back on, half-hour sleep is what the cycle's going to be. See how that goes. I feel quite good after that half hour. And it's good to get up that half hour just to check the surrounds, because I'm in a really busy area here. We've got Alundra and Caboolture, is it? I think. Anyway, there's lots and lots of ships everywhere.
So then I went out.
So that's about it.
Like the mountain parts of the state and thought I would go and
just on the tip of Fraser Island. Probably try and make Bundaberg. It's been pretty tiring. Been doing the half hour on, half hour off, so getting half hour tip or rest since about 6 o'clock. It doesn't really give you a total rest, but I feel a lot better than I would if I had to just keep my eyes open. So, the sun's just coming up and just waiting to make a bit of breakfast. It's pretty rolly. It's been easterly swell again, like I said, just making it rolly and uncomfortable, and a lot of bridge deck slams going on underneath the boat. Other than that, we had it depowered a fair bit last night, just so I didn't have to worry about it, which was a good move, I think. It just took that part of it out of it. And we're just cruising now. It's probably going to be another whole day, I think. Might get in trouble with Telstra trying to get onto my navionics on my phone so I can just do a quick plan, but it'll be nice to get around the other side of the isle. It goes a long way out. There's a Fraser Island spit goes out a long way under the, you know, like no land to see but just shallow. Doesn't look like anything different, but that's the breakwater spit, the breaksea spit of Fraser Island. It runs out 22 miles. If you get too close to it though, there's plenty of current and lots of variation in the sea bottom. Like here we're in hundreds of metres of water. Over there it runs up to like within tens. So I kept a good offing, because you could see it in the distance actually against the skyline. There was something happening, so I just had a look at the map, said nah, that's not looking good, and just kept out so I didn't get myself into it. See if I'm going to show you on the map what it looks like. Yeah, so again, I have got nowhere to sleep tonight except on the boat. I was going to go back down that spit. It's 22 miles though, back to where I can moor. So I'd have to motor back 22 miles, so I'm not doing that. Other option is go to an island, Lady Elliot Island. It's an open sea anchorage instead of in the lee of an island at night. Coral Island, so I'm not doing that. I'm just going to keep ticking away, but I'm gonna, if I have to, stop the boat for 2 hours and assess me drift, and then I will just have a big sleep with the lights on, or I'll just depower the boat and do me half hours and then slowly build it up to maybe an hour and see how that goes, because I'm just too tired. I'm just about at that stage where I can't hold my eyes open, which is really not, it's not that bad, but it will be tonight if I don't do something. Righto, onward. What do you reckon? Snore behind?
As soon as we got in close, heading towards Gladstone, in close to the shore, we ended up with a lot of bridge deck slams. The seas were short and sharp. It was almost like the tide was keeping them up, and it was really uncomfortable. So we got close into Gladstone to their bulk carrier anchorage, and then we headed back out to sea to Peak Island to get around away from the rougher waters, and just to get out towards the shipping channel and navigate along the shipping channel but not in it. So the idea being that we knew where the ships were, but we didn't have to worry too much about the ships, and we didn't have to worry too much about islands and stuff like that. There were a few that come fairly close, and you know, by doing the half hour on and half hour offs, it made that a lot more comfortable.
Wowee, welcome to the Whit Sundays, she says. What a rainbow. Hamilton Island there in the over the shoulder. All the hoop pines on the hills. Something that is iconic of this area. A really strong rainbow. Sometimes it's double, but it's beautiful. Hamilton Island. Wow, welcome back to the Whit Sundays. 5 days, 5 nights from Yamba. Went well. Here we are. It's not even the 1st of May yet. You've got to watch that nighttime sailing though. As you get tired, you become a bit careless and thoughtless. The thought processes can deteriorate quite quickly. Nothing that can't be fixed by a good sleep. So even though you're doing half hours on, half hour off, which seems to work pretty good, an hour is better. You might just need to pull the pin on the sails and just have a float around for 4 hours and manage it like that, and you're back to square one again. So done 5. I wanted to go to New Zealand or something like that by myself. I reckon I could do it. The hound, the Stubber, don't think she loved it, but she's managed all right. She's getting used to the banging and the crashing from the bridge deck slam. Something that is hard to get used to, especially when you got your head near to the bottom of the boat, like a big tin can, someone knocking it with a baseball bat. It sounds vicious, and I think it is vicious, you know, like I've got to get a camera underneath that bridge deck, show you how the water gets trapped under there. I can start to see the bottom of through the water, seeing light patches, which is I don't like that feeling too much, but it is fairly shallow. It's like 10 meters or something, I think. But I'll just go back to the helm, put the camera away, because the camera can send me to disarray sometimes. Back with a thinking cap back on. I just wanted to sum up my conclusion with the solo sailing with the half hour and on and half hour off sleeps. I'm looking back in hindsight now, and I'm already back down the east coast, and I did a trip with Stuart Webb, sorry, and we did 3 hours shifts, and it was extremely comfortable, got plenty of sleep. We're still a little bit tired, but compared to the half hour on and half hour off that I did, there was no comparison. I would do it every day with another crew member. Sometimes you might have to go by yourself, and if you could extend that to an hour and a half because you were in less congested seas or you had a bit more space, I would do that. So yeah, that's my conclusion. I probably pushed it a bit hard. But now I know, and I probably wouldn't do it again in a hurry.